it's almost like be careful what you wish for. So for me, right now being single and wanting that male attention, I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. Pay only the attention, be all about me. But until I get that, it might be overly too much, where it's just kind of like it comes off a little bit controlling and abrasive, where I'm just like, I don't want this much attention, but it's just like, isn't this what you said you wanted?
Yeah. So how do you think dudes are supposed to understand like that very fine line between giving you attention and not giving you attention? Because it just seems confusing, right? Like you want something, but then you're saying, but once you get it, you might be like, right? So like try to help me understand, like how do we deal, like as dudes, how do we deal with knowing that kind of layer of confusion exists with you?
Well, I think just like anything, you just have to kind of like know what you're dealing with. So I always recommend that people become friends first. And sometimes it's kind of hard to cross those lines once you have established like a friendship with someone. Mm-hmm. So there's this guy that I kind of was really feeling a lot. And I'm like, oh, of course I want things to expand. But as I got to know him more, there were certain things about him that I just was like, ugh, like, I don't want this at all. And we are still able to become, friends. We're able to like communicate and still have a friendly relationship. But I think when you go gun-ho into a relationship, there's no way of telling, what's too much and what's not, because it's all kind of like a mind game. And I hate to say this, and I hate that this happens in dating, but you just never know what you're getting into until you're already into it. So I always recommend that people become friends first. So you get to know that person. And when you kind of break down who they are as a person, you kind of fill them out like this person's really indecisive or this person's really clingy. And it kind of just molds you to know either how you're going to deal with them or if you even want to deal with them on that level at all. So, I mean, there's no way to really get around the whole, I know I'm hot and I'm cold and you're supposed to understand this about me. Telling you have to be very vocal in relationships. This is becoming too much. Is there a way that we can work on this? And it has to be a way that you guys can communicate and the other person take in what's being said and not get like offended, like, oh, I'm loving you too much. Oh, this is a problem. Like, no, it's not a problem, but it's making me uncomfortable.
So I'm following you, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Here's where my confusion is, right? Because, if you think about, the way that you describe that, you're single now, but you would love someone to be all about you, right?
Yes.
You would love
most girls.
You would love someone being all about you,
yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But then there's also the numbers are not adding up. If you look at her and you are not ultimately satisfied and happy, and there's always things that you can work on, right? There's always things that you can work on. But if there's evidence of infidelity, evidence of integrity issues, evidence of just being a piece of shit person, and you feel like you can solve that, and you at being 22 years old, you're going to be with that same problem at 80 when there's some deep-rooted shit that needs to get worked on, right? And you think that business is going to work out. How many best friends have you kept your entire life? How many long-term, people break up all the time and stop talking to each other. So in order for all of that to make sense and to walk in front of a lawyer and say, yes, I want to be best friends with this piece of shit for the rest of my life, and you not be 100%, even thinking from a financial perspective, right? Like, and I know there's some dudes who comment on this channel and talk about, I don't care if she, has a corporate job or works in McDonald's, I don't give a shit. I don't feel the fuck like that. I feel like, when you consider a business decision of tying someone to you, there needs to be a consideration of what are her goals? Where is she going financially? What does that look like? What does her debt look like? What are all the, right? Like, how does she handle money? Does she still live at home? Is she out buying Louis Vuitton and such and put it on her credit card? And right, these are all things that you need to consider, because I'm telling you, they will bubble up later on.
So do you think in our day and age of millennials, do we settle based off of
culture?
What we see, what we see on social media, what we see the next person doing. Do you think we look at it as I don't want to say social media, or not social media, marriage is like the next biggest come up. Like, all my boys are doing it, so I gotta do it too. All my girls are doing it, so I gotta do it too. Do you look at it like that?
Listen, hashtag relationship goals. There's not a hashtag singles goals. Family unit which raises strong children, and then they have and then those strong children become strong adults, and then they raise strong, and then the culture just
I like it,
and I appreciate it, but like still at the same time there's a lot of women that would think no, like even when we first started in the word submit, I think there's a lot of negative connotations to the word submit, but what do you think about it?
I mean, the moment I hear submit, I feel like power is taken from me. Like I think of like being a submissive woman. It's great, but like, what are you submitting? You know what I mean? Like, and how are you doing it? And I feel like a lot of men would just be, no, I want you to do and say how I want you to do and say it. Like, I want you to be my woman. You do things the old tradition way or whatever. I feel like a lot of men think like that. I have this male friend, and he's like that. And I'm like, do you need a child? Like, do you want somebody who you literally like can tell them what to do and how to do it? Because he wants a woman like that, and I don't get it. Like,
yeah, and there's a lot of power in different words, and the word submit, I think it's just been so many people have taken a hold of that word and confused it. Like they've turned it into something that it's not what it used to mean. It comes
off really negative to me.
And it does. But to your point, you have met someone that uses that word and you're like, what? But he's not a leader. He's not someone that you would want to follow, because a real man that would want you to submit would do so with your best interests in mind, and is not trying to pull one over on you or be a liar or just take away your power, like take away who you are, your individuality. They're not trying to do that. But like in any like relationship, I feel like there has to be an ultimate decider. Like there needs to be, and there could be some things that you do good. There's some things that I do good. Like, you know, there has to be an ultimate decider, you know, based on your strengths and your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. But if it comes to here, then there should be an ultimate decider. And historically, biologically, it's the man.
So I personally, like, I want my man to be the leader. Like, I want him to take charge, but also, like, teach me, but be willing to learn.
I can see that, you know, guys have a different drive, you know, and, you know, being entrepreneurial and having their own money is really important. But I think that for women, like, there's a lot of women that are very business savvy and driven and entrepreneurial as well. So
yeah, I understand that as a man we have certain privileges that y'all do not. I understand. I can walk down the street at 11 p.m. at night and feel relatively safe, depending upon the city, and y'all can't, right? Like, there's certain privileges that I understand that I know. But the thing is that we will never be 100% equal, ever.
I do have my own, and I don't have to be dependent. However, I do understand a level of submission.
Right.
You know, you have to have some qualifications.
So you feel like some dudes are entitled for that status, like they feel like because they were born
male
with a Y chromosome, that they are entitled to receive that type of respect.
Yes, there are males that do feel that way and will try to project that authority, I would say, quote unquote, on like a woman. Giving respect and his level of integrity, that's really important. Being a person that is what you say and who you are, and that's like super important. Your integrity is super important, and if you are respecting me, therefore it'll make it very easy for me to respect you as well.
Do you feel like you're good at delineating true respect and respect that he knows will make you think that he respects you? All right. What's good? Guys, do me a favor. Leave a 1 down in the building if you can hear and or see me. Well, wholeheartedly appreciate that. Let me know if the audio is coming through all right. All right? Let me know. And then we're going to get this show started. Guys, leave a 1 down into the chat if you can hear and or see me. I don't know how many likes we got on this video, but we got almost 500 in the building right now. So, guys, leave a like for me. And then we're going to get this conversation started. All right? All right, I see some ones coming through. What's good, everybody? Happy Sunday. Let me fix the lighting. I'm looking extra. There we go. I think that's... There we go. Shout out to everybody. Happy Sunday to you. I don't typically live stream on Sundays, but I feel as though it is necessary for me to be able to get up here and be able to talk to you guys the best way I know how, the best way that I can. Hopefully your Sundays are going extremely well, but we about to get active and we about to go in. I saw a couple of comments in there that was saying that you didn't know I do live streams. I've been taking a break from doing live streams in order to make sure that I do not burn out, but welcome. Okay, welcome. We like to go in, we like to get active, and we like to talk about topics to throw them up in the air to have a cerebral conversation. Now, let me also say this before I get started with the rest of the content for today. I'm going to be opening up the phone lines because I don't think that it'd be fair for me to have a conversation about this unless I talk to the people that I will be talking to in this specific video. All right. So after I get done talking, I'm going to open up the phone lines. And I want to hear the detractors call in. I want to hear the people that do not agree with me.
I want you guys to be able to call in. Because listen, all day I see comments down in my comment section of people that do not agree with me. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. All right? Now, before we get started, again, well, I guess we could just get started right now because I see a bunch of the ones down into the building, which means that you guys hear me correctly. All right. So I will say, like, I'm not in any particular good mood or good spirits right now. I don't feel particularly happy on this Sunday and having to do this broadcast. But again, I felt that it was particularly necessary. Now, the topic of this video, the title of the video, modern women owe modern men an apology. And I really, truly believe that. Now, let me also say that when I talk about these different sensitive kind of gender topics, these men versus women dynamics, it's not particularly it doesn't feel good for me to do, because I think that there's so much that goes on in our society today, okay, that I need to address and or hit on that range true to each and every one of us in how we live our lives. And the reality of that situation, it's just time and time, it's just the same ish time and time again. But I'm tired of having to talk about it as much as what I do, but I feel that it's necessary that we hit on these topics because I want to do everything in my power to try to move that needle just a wee bit forward, all right? Now, there's been a couple of things that have happened in the past couple of days to weeks, one of which was that video that I did not too long ago on the Iyanla Vanzant, women are out of order. Close your legs and open your hearts. I thought it was a fantastic video. You guys showed a lot of love in that video. I believe right now it has over 100,000 views up on the channel. And I hit on some key things that I understand within the culture that need to be hit on. Because if we don't talk about and point a finger at these very unique things, then they won't get solutioned. There's no way to solve a problem unless you identify with what you think that problem stems from, okay? Now, let me also talk about it from this perspective as well. All right. Recently, JT from the City Girls, you see her face on the thumbnail. We're going to talk about it. All right. Recently, she came out on some podcast. I don't know the podcast. Okay. Here's what she said. I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to read you the quote, and we're going to talk about it. All right. To me, she says, broke ninjas just don't deserve viscosity because I feel that broke ninjas are always mad any motherfucking way. They're mad at life. They're mad their shit ain't going like it's supposed to go. And they always got an attitude. So I don't want no broke ninja who ain't got no money and a motherfucking attitude digging in my viscosity, I paraphrase that, on me and putting those negative spirits on me. All right? This is the same JT who has mugshots online because she used to be a scammer. This is the same young lady who all of a sudden now got upgraded and is now talking shit on dudes that make average income in the United States of America. Is this what it's come to? Is this really what our reality is right now? Is this your leader? Does she represent you? Men need and deserve an apology. Now, listen, let me also be real when I say this as well. If she said broken, if she's instead of saying broke men, if she said broken men don't deserve my insides, that's a completely different argument. That's a completely different argument. And I could get petty and pull up her mugshots right now, but I'm not going to do that. Okay? But that's a completely different argument if you said broken men don't deserve, because a broken man, more often than not, does have negative energy. And if you let him inside you, well, you might get a component of that negative energy within you. So I get that, but you said broke, so you made this a money thing. Oh, okay. You made it a money thing based off of what the average man does. And I think that that is concerning at best, all right? The reason why I feel, or that I know, that I need to bring this up today and talk about it and combat this dangerous rhetoric is because this is how it starts. This is how it starts. What do I mean when I say that? The negative sentiment of men in our culture. Little tidbits of information like that gets hit on to the internet unchecked. This is how it starts. This is how you get women that disrespect blue-collar workers. This is how you get women that don't want to bang with no dudes, that don't wear a tie to work. This is how you get the pure and utter delusion, because they base their reality, whether or not they were 0 or a 10, off of what JT from City, whatever the hell group she is. That's how it starts. So we must call a spade and challenge these ideas, but I maintain that men need an apology, all right? But again, as she said, if she said broken men as opposed to broke men, I would get it. But instead, this loser equates the average working man who helps build this nation, maintains this nation, all right? Irrespective of their disposition, irrespective of their good hearts, equates them to unworthy. And I think it's downright disrespectful, all right? I think it's downright disrespectful, all right? It's so normal today that it barely causes a stir. Yeah, there was a couple of media outlets that talked about it. If it wasn't for this section of YouTube, no one would have talked about it. Nobody would have talked about it. It wouldn't have hit anything because it's so normal in our culture, in our society, to speak that way. All right? But just think about real quick how damaging this rhetoric is. It's completely and utterly damaging. All right? Now imagine if I went up somewhere and got on some media platform and I said, there's not a fat woman on planet Earth that don't deserve my time. There's not an overweight to fat to a little bit thick in all the wrong places that doesn't deserve any of my time anyway. None of it. She don't even deserve to slide in my DMs. If she slide in my DMs, get up out of here. What you doing? Don't you understand your role in society? Don't you understand where you are at because of the decisions that you made in your life, irrespective of a pituitary gland issue or whatever is going on with you? Don't you understand that? But here's the thing. When you compare the difference between weight issues, which can be fixed, all right, which can be fixed and should be prevented if you enlist a little bit of discipline in your life outside of any medical issues that you have, versus shunning dudes that do their damnedest, okay, that work hard as shit. Those two things are very different. But even still, if I had a show that talked about that in the way that I talked about it, I would get a whole bunch of cancels. I would get a whole bunch of cancels. All right? And I think that is incorrect. I see y'all shouting out Lizzo down into the building. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. Hold up. I was going to pull something on the screen real quick. I don't see it no more. It's okay, though. All right? It's okay. But I would get canceled. One of the biggest issues today between the dynamics between men and women, okay? One of the biggest issues, I would say, is that you expect men to be leaders. You expect men to lead you. However, you have a disrespectful relationship when addressing men, when talking about men. Kevin Samuels asked a fantastic question. I believe it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. All right, and I did a video on it. Okay? And the name of that video was Protect Kevin Samuels at All Cost. All right? And I think that it's important that he touched on this, but what he asked was to this young medical professional. He said, do black women belong to black men? And it was a profound question in the way that he answered it. And she couldn't say yes or no. So he deployed the Socratic method to ask questions regarding other races of men that belong to, right, the men, other races of women that belong to the men. And then when he got to black men and black women, then she added a modifier onto that in order to have it make sense for her. I think that video right there was monumental. That's the reason why I made sure to put it in that video so you guys can see it. Because I think that the way that happened was incredibly impactful for the culture. Okay? But one of the biggest problems within that is how modern men today are marketed. Here's what I posit. From that. The most detrimental figure for black men today is black women. Why is this? We owe an apology. We are owed an apology. Why is this? Why is it that I can do a video every single day, and never run out of bad behavior? And 90% of the time, it's someone saying something messed up about men. Why? Why? And I challenge any female content creator to do it the way that I do, at the frequency that I can do. And the reason why, because I don't think that you can, because men are not, by and large, doing it as much as what y'all do. Y'all drag us through the complete and utter mud. And it's got to stop. But I think first, it deserves an apology. Again, if you're just coming down into the building, I'm going to open up the phone lines because I want to hear anybody that does not agree with me. I'm going to open up the phone lines. We're going to let this smoke show get it popping. Okay? Guys, I see 600 or something likes in the building. You already know what time it is. Go and hit on that like button. I want 1,000 likes right now. Don't play with me. Hold on. Thirsty. If you don't think that it takes a toll on us, both men and women, then you're absolutely bugging. You're absolutely bugging. I talk about all the time the impact of the society and the culture. Guess who's impacting the society and the culture? The people that are inside the society and the culture. That's who's driving it. You can't blame anyone else but us now. But you know why? Because everyone has a smartphone in their pocket now. Everyone can record whatever that they want and put up whatever that they want. Stop blaming other people besides us. It don't make no goddamn sense no more. Okay? We need an apology. All right? There's so many different things that I've talked about on this channel. Shout out to the Super Chats, by the way. I'll get to the Super Chats in a quick second. I'm keeping a running tab and log over here. There's so many issues that I talk about on this channel that never seem to get the respect that it needs and or deserves by the opposite end of YouTube. Okay? But we got to call these things out because I'm tired and I'm concerned. How many more divorces in the community? All right. When we know that a two-parent household is what makes the best versions of us. All right. We know that. We can look at the data and we can take a look at that. All right. How many more paternity fraud cases do we have to go through? How many more issues with unfair child support must we go through? How many more false allegations? I've talked about false allegations on my channel multitude of times. I got stories of it available on my channel right now. False, just making it up and allowing the government to protect them. How many more? We need an apology. All of us. So I have some questions before I open up the phone lines. Are you willing to apologize? Are you willing to apologize? Is there a time in the near future where we can come to our senses? You can come to your senses and understand the detriment of continuing this men are trash shit, continuing this men ain't shit, continuing this broke nigga can't do this, so he can't, when you was a scammer a couple of years ago before you got your break, now you want to shit on us and uphold that as the brand standard for us? We need you to help our image. Why are you shitting on our image, JT? Why? This shit is ridiculous, and it shows a complete and utter lack of respect. Complete and utter lack of respect, and we must be able to talk about it because it's gross and it's disgusting. We've listened to all of the Miss Independence, the I'm a survivor, hey single ladies, I don't want no scrub, I want a soldier. We listened to all of that shit. Kevin Samuels asked the question, we listened to all of that. Do you belong to us? Because it's a fantastic question. It's a fantastic question that needed to be asked, and I'm so appreciative of that brother to ask it in the way that he did with the particular platform and the eyes on him that he has. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. But I think that it's really important to do, all right? Because you hear all this, I'm Miss Independent, all of this, that, and the third, but the lion's share of you guys still want marriage and relationships. Shit, I talked about this not too long ago, but I've had relatively recently, have had a young lady in my life that within the first contact that I had with her, all right, we went out to a tea shop. The word marriage came up into her vocabulary at least 4 times, right? Not saying that I want to get married, but the word marriage came up about 4 times or so, okay? About 4 times. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's a marriage-minded young woman, which I can respect. I can definitely respect, okay? As long as the actions within her life align up to her having this goal, I completely and utterly respect it, okay? We ended up talking actually at the end of that night, and I actually asked her that question, and it ended up being what I thought, okay? Couple of weeks later, all right? Couple of weeks later, she's in the crib, all right? she's in the crib. Wake up in the morning, all right? I walk over by the stove and I go bring out the pancake mix and I'm just messing with her like, you don't know how to make no good pancakes. She's like, pancakes. Pancakes. What? You don't know how to make pancakes? Really? Excuse me? It just didn't even make any sense to me. So you have this want of marriage, but yet you don't even understand what some dudes even want. And even when I ask you about that, because at the end of the day, the dude's got to get on bended knee. When I ask you about that, you look at me like I'm crazy. Insane. And a lot of that has to do with following the JTs from City Girls, listening to the Cardi B's. I don't cook, I don't clean. It's so infused into the culture. But if we care about the community, the family structure, the dynamic, then why are we not pointing a finger at this shit and calling it out for what it is? Okay? I did a video. I uploaded it today, actually. Let me put this on the screen real quick just to make sure that you guys understand what it is. I did a video not too long ago. And guys, I'm gonna leave a link down in there because I want to have people call in and we're going to have a conversation about this. But I did a video not too long ago. Actually, let me bring it in this way. Give me a quick second. Share screen. Okay. I did a video. I actually uploaded it today. And I talked about this very topic right here, which I think was pertinent to be able to talk about as well as we go over these things that like JT from City Girls was saying. And you wonder why so many dudes end up leaving the community. Now, it's not all, it's not even most, right? It's a subset of dudes that end up leaving the community or they end up leaving the country for all of these different reasons. And you wonder why. And it's because of this bullshit right here that gets infused from a knowledge perspective. And then it shows up in how you treat our men. Black women will ignore men like this because he's too weird, lame, nerdy, etc. until he achieves success and then sees a woman like this and want to label him a sellout. How dare you? How dare you label him a sellout? Okay? Like I said in the title of that video, I think that if you call him a sellout, that's just your way of avoiding accountability. Not all. But there's a lot that do. I experienced it. Most of the men in this chat has experienced it. So we got to be able to talk about it. But then you wonder why he doesn't look at you. Well, you shunned him in his past. You treated him like shit before. You called him a corny. You called him a nerd. You call him this. You call him that. He needs an apology. All right? He needs an apology. Shit is insane. Shout out again to Kevin Samuels, okay? Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He literally just uploaded a video. Shout out O'Shea. Love that brother's content. Super talented brother. He just uploaded a video where people were coming at Kevin Samuels because they found like a high school picture of him. Let me throw it up on the screen real quick. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't think you can. Let me stop sharing this and let me share this on the screen. Hold on. Okay. Let me throw this up on the screen. Where it's Kevin Samuels in his high school photo. And because this was his photo and the things that he was saying, they're trying to say like, oh, okay, he's gay. And it's just like, yo, we can't be unique. For real? We got to be exactly what media purports us to be. Just this negative self-fulfilling prophecy of complete and utter bullshit. That's what you want us to be? That's who you're choosing? Because he writes right here, he's into dance, clothes, meeting people. He's a member of the band, student council, stagehand. Look at all of the dope shit that he was involved in. Look at all of the dope shit that he was involved in. This is the type of man, if you see him in the goddamn high school, this is the type of dude you will look at him, all of the shit that he's in, that he's getting his mind wrapped up in. You look at a man like this, and I would say to myself, yo, he's going places. He's going places. But I'm tired of letting hood boogers run this culture. I'm absolutely sick and tired of the hood boogers being promoted in our media. Because the worst of us get the most marketing. And I'm goddamn tired of this shit. All of the shit that he's in, I want someday this to be seen as normal. Completely and utterly normal. All right? Completely and utterly normal. Why is it not? I think it's absolutely disrespectful as a culture and community that it is not. Let me tell you guys something as well. All of the shit that he was in, I was in a lot of shit as well. I was in a lot of shit as well. Shit, I was in track. I was in martial arts. My pops kept me busy. I was in band. I used to play the saxophone. All right? I was a gamer. I love playing video games. You guys already know. You guys looked at the video earlier today. I was in a lot of shit. I called myself a hobbyist. Because I stick my dirty little hands, my nerdy little hands in so much shit. And I just try things out. So you want to relegate men to the blocks that they sell on? You want to relegate men to the tattoos that they have? You want to relegate men to all of this other shit that you find synonymous with the culture? We need an apology. Quickly. Crazy shit is that the dudes that you made fun of way back before is the same dudes that's running the companies that you work for. That's the super ironic shit. That's the super ironic shit. All right? I got to be able to talk about this the best way that I know how, the best way that I can, because I'm absolutely tired of this shit. And it needs to be talked about. What did Ayanla say? Close your legs and open your hearts. Shit, at the end of the day, I'm talking shit on y'all need to apologize, but shit, this shit that men do as well. Okay? I'm not going to forego or escape that reality. But I'm working on that. Okay? There's a component of that I'm taking on my back, on my shoulders, and I'm working on that, and I hold the men accountable over here as well. I hold them accountable as shit over here. Both sides ain't shit. I'll be honest with you. Both sides got shit to work on. But if you want us to lead, if you want us to be the leaders, but you continue the negative words on our image and on our brand, why do you think some leave? The highest earners leave. Why do you think that happens? We need an apology. Close your legs and open your hearts. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, listen. I'm gonna open up the phone lines. I'm gonna drop my my StreamYard link that's down up in there. Hold on, let me find out where it's at. Copy the clipboard. I want people to call in that do not agree with me, that think I don't know what the hell that I am talking about. And here's the thing that I want to ask, okay? And I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to come right back. I ask, are you willing to apologize? All right? Are you willing to apologize? That's all I want to ask, okay? What am I getting wrong? When will women begin to call other women out for the bullshit? Because if it doesn't come from women, they're not going to listen. Men can't do it for women. Women must do it for women. But I'm over here doing it for men, calling us out on our bullshit, making us accountable. I get emails daily from young men telling me how much that they thank me for having this channel to keep them on their square. on a daily? What are you doing from the other side to ensure accountability? Because we are the leaders now. We are the leaders now. Are you going to sit and complain about the State of the Union but not do nothing to fix it? Or are you that type? Because we focus on solutions over here. That's what we focus on. And we need that level of accountability. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't think that an apology should be had, well, then call in. I want to be able to straighten you out real quick. All right? Guys, hit on the like button. I don't know how many likes that I got down into the building. Hit on the goddamn like button. Would wholeheartedly appreciate it. We got over 1,600 that's down into the building. Hit on the like button. This is going to be the smoke show. I'm opening up my goddamn phone lines, and we got to have a conversation about this shit. All right? We got to have a conversation. Let me also look down. Let me read off some of the super chats real quick. Hold on. I don't have a lot of time, guys, so I'm going to read off the super chats that are $20 and above. Shout out to Theory. Keep bringing this fire content. God bless you, brother. Theory, thank you so much for the $25 super chat. Wholeheartedly appreciate that, my G. All right. Let me go down. Hold up. I see some more. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, shit. Shout out to Anthony Spade in the building. Get those likes up. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat, my G. Wholeheartedly appreciate that. Y'all don't know Anthony Spade, another content creator. Go and subscribe to that, brother. Support the content in this space because we spitting bars over here. We got to do it for the culture. We got to do it for the community. Shout out to Anthony Spade. Wholeheartedly appreciate that. Shout out to Malik Conley. Much respect to the brother here. Support your advice and your perspective. You give what you give is awesome for the community. Shout out, my brother. I wholeheartedly appreciate that. Let me see. I'm gonna leave my listen, hold up. I see people that's down in there from a text perspective are not agreeing with me. Well, then call in. If you got smoke, if you got something to say, let's have a conversation about it. I'm gonna leave it down in here one more time. And also, let me say this as well. If you're coming up here, you got to turn your video on. So if you're down into the lobby right now, turn your video on. Because you're not going to come up here to just be a faceless picture, a spout and all type of shit. Turn your video on. I got my video on. Turn your video on. Turn your video on and you're not getting on. Shout out to Something to Watch. Let me see if I can bring that one up. I think I could bring this. Yep, I could bring this one up because it's relatively recent. Hoes will be hoes here in the first world. What's your take on girls in the third world? They're going to do third world shit because they want money from you at the end of the day. I'm going to be traveling to some third world countries in the very near future. More to come on that soon. I'm not going to talk about that right now. So yeah, if you go to the third world, it's not going to be real either. I mean, they're affected by evolutionary biology as well, and they're going to hypergamy their way into your lives. I mean, it just is what it is. However, I'm not so concerned about that as I am concerned about the state of the union as I see it within the country that I reside in today. And I just don't enjoy at all to wake up every single day and have more people sending me shit each and every day with the absolute bullshit rhetoric that I hear regarding men. I think the number one thing when we talk about therapy, okay, when we talk about therapy, I think so many have to heal their relationship with men. They have to heal the relationship. You can't take the baggage of the top 10% dude who dogged you out because of this, that, and a third, and then take that into the future with you. You have to let that pain, that anguish, and that hurt go, okay? But it's ridiculous to me to have a culture that isn't aligns with broke dudes don't deserve the insides because they're just mad any goddamn way. They're mad at life. They're mad all of this shit that she said in that particular quote. Let me read off some of these others. Guys, I'm leaving the link that's down up in there. I see one person that's down up in there. I see one person that's down up in there. Let me read off these other super chats real quick, and then we will continue on. Shout out to 850 Last King. First time watching the live. Got to show the love to the brother MTR. I'm becoming a Patreon today after this fire show tonight. Shout out my G. Oh, by the way, we're going to have the after party right after this. We're going to go right up to the Discord server, which is connected through my Patreon. So I'll see you up there, my G. Thank you so much for the $25 super chat. Much love, support, and respect. All right. Shout out to Musa and thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Listen, I see one dude that's down in there waiting right now. Ladies, what's up? Where y'all at? Y'all seem very active on the comments on pre-recorded videos, but we live right now. If you got an issue with something that I'm saying, let's talk about it. I just see dudes that's calling in right now. Where the ladies at? All right. If you guys do not agree with me. All right. Let me keep on going down. Shout out to, Killmonger in the building. Hold on, let me try to find your chat real quick, my G. Patreon gang, tuition dues paid. Put some respect on my man's channel. Shout out to Killmonger, Patreon gang in the building. We building a community over there, over 600 strong in the building. If you guys are interested, you already know where I am at. Shout out to Smash Ball. Thank you so much for the $25 super chat. Accountability on both sides gets us moving forward. Facts. And great point on us moving away from the negative aspects of our culture / stereotypes. Let's get active. Too much marketing from a negative perspective, and I'm going to talk about it until the day that I see that it doesn't proliferate within our culture. All right? Thank you so much for the $25 super chat, my G. All right? Let me go back down. Hold up. Joe No, Patreon gang in the building. Salute. Long time since I tapped in because I've been on grind mode, showing love from Italy. That means right now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for you, Joe No. I appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate the sponsorship, the support on today's live stream, the $100 super chat. Thank you so much, my G. Wholeheartedly appreciate that. Showing love from Italy. I appreciate that. All right. Let me see. Shout out to G Mill. Recently had a post on Facebook that went viral talking about women in Hot Girl Summer, saying that they need to give it up and prepare for themselves for a husband. And they didn't like that at all. Yeah, that happens from time to time, but we're going to hold them accountable over here. But it seems as though they're not calling in. All right, we're going to put the first guy that's through. Let's see what you guys have to say. This is not going to be an entire conversation. This is going to be, what do you think about what I'm saying? If you do not agree, let's talk about it. What up, brother? How are you? I can't hear you. Fix your mic and let's go back in. What up, brother? How are you?
What's up, gang? Can you hear me?
Chilling. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. How about you?
Man, it's a pleasure, man. All right, so what do you not agree with me on?
Man, what I don't agree with is basically, man, I agree with JT, right? Like, if you a broke dude and you ain't got no money, how can you be able to tell a woman like, "Hey, I want you to, behave and do all these things, cook and clean"? Like, you can't even provide a life for her to even do these things. And
how would you define broke, my G? CK, how would you define broke?
I define broke as like you can't take care of yourself and you can't take care of other people. And as a man,
give me a number, my G. Let's say you live in a middle average income city, right?
Yes. I live in Chicago.
You live in Chicago. All right. So what's broke in Chicago?
Broke in Chicago is 30K and under.
30K and under. What do you think the average man makes?
Average man makes? I don't know. If I can give you a Kevin Samuels response, I would say I heard him say like 40K and up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's about that. So the majority of men are not making less than 30K.
Right. And you know, and whose fault is that? This is America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom out here to go out here and make some money. Mm-hmm. This phone that we talking on, this is a computer, it's a calculator, it's education. Like, it's really no excuse for you not to be getting no money. Like with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really inspired me to really, because I'm in real estate. Yeah. And when I see you doing what you're doing on Webull, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like, I got to learn stocks, because I know in America, it's 2 ways to get paper, man. It's either real estate or it's stocks. Yes. Right? So if you're sitting on your phone, if you can sit on your phone and click-clack with chicks all day, you better be click-clacking and see if you can get a course so you can make some money. Because it's paper out here.
My G, I completely, totally, and unadulteratedly agree with everything that you just said. Shit,
Yes,
and the thing is like even myself, like I'm relatively new into the digital landscape and media game, but I just figured it out. Like people ask me all the time, like, yo, how did you figure out how to do this? I learned everything I know on YouTube. Just YouTube. I YouTube how to YouTube.
Right.
I figured it out.
Right.
So, but I agree. But here's my argument is when she says broke, she's not talking about 30K and under. I think that she talks about broke from the perspective of her making six figures probably a month and doing concert shows like that. So my argument is if that's the information that she proliferates within the culture, I think it does a lot of disservice in the way that she articulates it, because the majority of men are making $45-ish $1,000 per year as per the U.S. Census Bureau, right? But I think that women who look to her as some all-knowing, powerful idea, right, of the way that she thinks about things, are not thinking about it from that perspective, right? So I don't think that it continues to do good things within the community. CK, I appreciate you, my G. I got a bunch of others that's down into the building. Let me move on. You free to call back anytime, brother, all right?
Hey, man, message you the long way, man. Y'all step y'all game up, get some money, and stop complaining. Facts. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir. All right. All right, next to the stage, CEO DNP. What's good, brother? How are you? What do you disagree with me on, bro? Chilling.
Can you hear me clearly? First and foremost, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
The only thing I wanted to say is basically just agreeing with the last brother said is, why are we concerned about what a female got to say about what we doing? You know what I'm saying? The only thing that we should be concerned about is leveling up. Almost like KS said, almost like Kevin Samuels is really putting out there about CIA and high value men and the things like that. I feel like the women are just basically challenging us, as they should. They're telling us to meet up. They're telling us to level up. They're telling us to do more. They're telling us to realize our potential. And we complaining at the fact that it's just like your mother talking to you as a child. I want you to accomplish. I want you to have a job. I want you to have a big house. What's wrong with that, bro? Why don't you level up to it rather than turning around and crying at your mom talking about, why do you expect so much from me? Why, like, we should level up. Like if she on that level and she's saying that you said she making about six figures or whatever it is, then she has the right to demand that out of men. You know what I'm saying? If you want less than that, if you don't want that type of standard, go get a broke ass female who barely paying her bills, who damn near homeless, and get with her so she can be impressed. Don't be mad because a female who off her own skills and abilities is put herself in a position to make six figures, and then she telling dudes that, hey, I did it, why can't you? Level up. That's flat out. And it makes us look bad to sit around and complain about women who, and when ultimately, when you boil it down in a pot of hot water, when you boil it down, all they doing is saying level up. Do the best that you can.
Hey, CEO, hey, listen, so I appreciate your words, my brother, but I think that context matters. I think telling someone to level up is different than saying broke ass niggas don't deserve no pussy. So I think that the context matters. The way that you position the statement matters. And I think that, again, it is very important that the women in the same culture don't uphold a positive brand identity and standard for the men that exist within it. That doesn't happen with any other culture. So I agree with you. And listen, I'll do it over here all the day. I'll talk about the level up shit, and you already know that because you watch the channel, and I go in from a financial perspective. I go in. I go completely in, and I'm trying to teach as much as I goddamn can because my life shouldn't be out of the ordinary. My life should not be out the ordinary. But I think it's how you position the statement. This study is to show the best way to try to influence someone doesn't come from a negative perspective. It doesn't come from a negative just real quick, brother. Just real quick. It doesn't come from a negative perspective. It comes from a positive perspective, a support perspective, not so much of a putting under the thumb to let you know that you don't amount to this shit. And that's the problem. It doesn't come from a supportive place. But go ahead, brother. One other comment, and let me move on to the next one. What's good?
Real talk. All I wanted to say is it's kind of when you say a context perspective. How can a female? I'm just saying, if you're really a man and you're really doing your thing and you really solid, how can what a female say affect you? Like she's a female, like she can't survive in this game. She can't survive in this game without you. The only way, even these girls talking this shit, the only reason that they in the game is because they got themselves into a man established, a man run, operated, owned industry. Why is that affecting you? If you're a real man, why is that affecting you? You really should just be worried about where you at in your game. If anything, you should be comparing yourself to the dudes that are able to put her in a position where she can say what she says, not concerned about what she's saying. Because if the person, the industry, the men who run the industries in were to drop her from the label, drop her from her contract, she'd be a broke ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? You really should be worried about the dudes who are running these industries, not worried about the females who are thankful, blessed, and lucky to have been given a shot. You know what I'm saying? Let them say what they say.
Yep. So, and I appreciate that, brother, and I appreciate those words. I'm gonna get you off here real quick. You can always stop by, brother. I gotta move on to the next one, but I appreciate that, my G. So the thing is that when I hear that, again, to me, it still goes back to that I don't think that he has as much as an appreciation as the impact of our brand and our marketing. I agree with him at a tactical level, at an individual level. You shouldn't worry. You should just worry about upgrading and improving yourself. But when it comes to how we are viewed, if we don't have support from those within the same community, why would we expect any other community to support us? Why? You want us to be leaders, but you talk down to us. That's the problem that I have. Next to the stage, we got a lady. Hey, Ebony Queen, how are you?
Salam, brother. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, so you disagree with me, I take it. What's up?
I mean, I pretty much agree with the last caller that you had on the line. So he pretty much was hitting the nail on the head for me. It just seems like how you were touching on about being a leader. You know, how the man, especially, I'm just going to say it like it is, because it's really the Black community that we're the only ones that have the problem with, I guess, the power struggle and the men taking control and being leaders. Yes. It's too much, you know, focus on. I personally feel like it's a lot of blaming the women. If you're the leader, then you're just going to be the leader. There's not a king of his castle who's, you know, I mean, unless it's by vote or something, but who is dictated by what the followers are doing. If he's the leader by his own right, then he's the leader. And it's a lot of comments about modern women and submission and all of this other stuff, when submission
So Ebony Queen, just real quick, let me ask you a question. I'm actually the same question that Kevin Samuels asked on his stream. Do you think that Black women belong to Black men?
Of course I do.
Okay, so Black women belong to Black men, but in the same idea, you posit that it's okay for Black women to talk about Black men the way that JT talks about them.
Well, I mean, so Black men talk down about Black women in that same respect. So it goes both ways. You can't expect a Black woman not to come negatively when she's being attacked in a negative way. To be honest with you, I don't even really know about, I don't watch that kind of stuff. They're not role models.
No, but listen, so Ebony Queen, but listen, but this is the context of the show. I'm showing specifically what someone says specifically about Black men, specifically. Okay. Right. So to interject that Black men do this, I mean, you'd have to give me some stats, some data about the quantity that we do, because my argument is that we don't do it at the rate that you do it. I'm not meaning you specifically. I mean, Black women in general. Because what did I say earlier? I said earlier, I could do a video a day. I could do multiple videos a day and never run out of bullshit that is sped about men time and time. And you know what? Until someone sees a channel like myself that can do it day after day, multiple videos a day, then all of a sudden it's like, damn, maybe the sector of YouTube has a point.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, it goes both ways. I don't know if that's just what you're focusing on, but there's videos all day, and it's shameful, honestly, because I see videos like this all day where Black men are literally bashing Black women. And like I said, this was a spontaneous thing coming onto your channel, so I don't have like stats and anything to bring. I could have, but I don't have it right now. But my thing is, because I heard the context of what it was, so it's a problem. People are upset because JT or whoever, City Girls, whatever, was saying that men who don't have money don't deserve to get any butt or whatever, for lack of better words. And that's true. Like, that's true. Why are you worried about having sex when sex is really supposed to be for creating families? When you're worried about having sex, you should be worried about marrying this woman and being able to take care of the family that is produced by sex. If you can't do that, you don't deserve to have sex. You don't.
Okay, but here's what it is, and we're taking a subjective term such as a broke ninja, and we're trying to equate it to everyone's definition of it, and I think that's the problem. Again, let's quantify this. What's broke in the city that you live in? What city are you in?
Dallas.
What's broke in Dallas, would you say?
What is broke in Dallas? I mean, you mean like is a yearly or annual type of income?
Yes.
I mean, I would say I would just have to go up with what they say as far as poverty. I mean, I'm assuming $15,000 a year is broke poverty.
What percentage of black men make $15,000 per year?
I mean, because pretty much if you have a basic regular 9-to-5 job, you can make 15,000 is not a lot of money. I think that translates to like
exactly
$9 an hour or something.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is it's not the majority. It's the far minute minority that make $15,000 an hour from the city that you live in. Now, when JT says a statement like this, what percentage of men do you think it's directed at?
When she makes a statement about broke men not deserving any coochie.
What percentage of men do you think that's directed
at?
I
think that's directed at. I mean, I don't know if there is a person. I think she's just directing that period. Like, if you're broke and you're worried about having sex, then you need to know you don't. That's something that shouldn't be your focus. You need to either be focused on getting from above the power. Honestly, like in my city.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. So because you want to go on to your city, but let me focus you on what JT said. And this is the problem with the statement, is because the majority of men are not broke. Right, like they're making average wages, but she's directing it out and shitting on the men within her community as to say that they don't deserve something from women in general, when it's not the majority of women, of men.
Just from observation, though, and then my experience, most of the men are financially less capable than the women, so they are in some.
That's not the argument. No, hold up. So Ebony Queen. So that's not the argument. Again, if we stick to the particular argument that I set up at the beginning of the stream, one of which I'm saying men need an apology. I'm saying from a numbers perspective, you self-admit it's about $15,000, and that's according to the way that you perceive that. It's $15,000. The majority of men are not doing $15,000. But I asked you, what is the percentage of men that you think that she's talking to? You feigned an answer for that. Now the difference between the realistic dudes that you define as broke versus who she's directing that message to is very different. That's the problem. And that type of message is negatively impacting black men in general. So you wonder why we just say, to hell with y'all, we're leaving. We're out.
Can you say that again?
Because Ebony Queen, I appreciate you. You can call back in. I can't repeat that again. I think most of the people that's down in here got that. I got to move on to the next caller, but I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much, Mama. So again, I'm trying to help you guys understand, because once we start to quantify this, that's the difference. Because she's not talking about dudes who make under $15,000 per year. When I say she, I'm talking about JT. She's not talking about that. She's not talking about that. We need an apology. Next to the stream. What up, Izzy? How are you?
Hi.
Izzy,
nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. What do you disagree with me with? And are you willing to apologize?
I mean, personally, no, because listen, I don't want no smoke. So basically, I do watch your content. I do agree with most things you say. You know, I watch it with a grain of salt. You know, it's mostly for like entertainment purposes, you know.
Where are you from, Izzy?
I'm from New York. So.
What part?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay. Keep going, Izzy.
Anyways, so I'm just going to play devil's advocate and kind of like give. First of all, I don't agree with what JT said.
Okay.
I absolutely don't. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna say that I feel like it's like, I don't know. I don't want to play the blame game, but this is what I feel like the source of it all is, right? So I feel like I apologize.
I
I'm a
gotta
little
get you back
nervous.
on. Izzy, it's okay. Breathe. Come with me and step in with me. What do you disagree with me on, and are you willing to apologize?
I
To
feel
men?
like modern women do. Okay, let me get to my point. Hold up. So I feel like it all started maybe like with the early 2000s. There was this ideal of a video vixen, right? So I
Okay.
feel like not right now women, it is not, they're trying to like, I really can't find the words. I feel like men, they like that shit though. Like women
Like
like
what?
they like that. Like y'all like
Uh-oh.
women. Like I just feel like y'all
Jay,
do. Like
so Izzy, real quick. So
mhm.
so I'm from New York. I don't know if you know that, and I talk
No, I
about on
didn't
my
know that.
yeah, and I talk about on my cast all the time that New York is so interesting in an idea that it has the highest degree of masculine women. The highest rate that I've seen in any city, and I've been to a lot of cities in the United States of America and a lot of cities outside of the United States of America. New York has an incredible amount of masculine women. The rate is ridiculous, right? So like when I say that, I think that a lot of young men grow up under the idea that women should have this masculine identity, this masculine bravado. Okay?
Right. I do agree.
Masculine bravado, right? So like, and even me being from New York, even when I moved from New York, I would meet girls and I'd be like, damn, she still don't got that spunk. And I couldn't quite put my mind around what that spunk was until I was introduced within the content within the space. But then I had to recalibrate what I thought a woman should think, act, and feel like. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear you say that dudes like that shit, I start to see myself 15 years ago, you know what I'm saying, under the guise of the film of New York that I grew up under. So I say that to say, if you think that men generally think that like that, I would say that that's probably men that are based in Brooklyn, where you're currently living at, but it's not the majority of men. And I would also argue that those men are so influenced by the society around them that they don't know right from wrong or left from right or up from down. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I definitely agree with you on that. It's definitely the New York in me that will say, yeah, like I feel
Yeah.
like men do like that because listen, I feel like it's I don't know, like I watch your content, so I'm not like, but I feel like this is not something that women just decided to just wake up and act like this. Like I really feel like it started with a lot of these the ideal like men that we would see like watching TV, like I don't know, like MTV, like early 2000s, I don't know, like a Jay-Z video. What do you see? You see these women who are beautiful, so they do in their right, you know, they have the right to be picky and choosy, and you see these men kind of like they want a woman who is like that. They want a woman who wants them for their wealth. They want a woman who just has her assets. So now I feel like it's only natural. Wait, hold up. It's only natural for women nowadays, especially in the entertainment industry. Okay, yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
So listen. So out of all of that, out of everything that I said here tonight, you still blame men.
Why I don't blame. Okay, you know, I don't blame men fully. Like I said from the beginning, I'm trying to play devil's advocate right now, because you want somebody to disagree with, right? I don't fully agree with what JT said though. I said that from the jump. I really don't like.
You did say that, Izzy. You did.
And I feel like,
but somehow out of all of that, you still came to men being the issue.
Because listen, women like JT, they don't have discernment. They don't, and they don't have the discernment. They're literally. I feel like those are the type of women they don't really, like you said, they're not in touch with their feminine self. They're really moving through the world, with what the world kind of gave them and what they could pick up and see. So yeah. I feel like Jade is like what else could I really have expected her to say, or how can I really have expected
Jesus
her?
Christ, Izzy.
You know what I mean?
Izzy, I had so much. I had so much writing for you, Izzy. So at the end of that, JT should take no accountability.
No. She definitely should.
So hold up. So what you just said is, what should I expect her to say?
But I feel like it can go both ways.
Hold on. So what should I expect her to say after all of that? And my question was, are you willing to apologize to men? And it's not even just that. It's just that, wait, hold up. But JT, at the end of the day, she's just saying that, and she just don't know what she's saying. Don't you understand? This is the non-accountability that I talk about. This is exactly what it is. Like, everything that you just said is exactly that. So to say that you don't agree with what she said, however, she doesn't know what she says, is the exact non-accountable shit that I've talked about this entire stream. You know, and I'm not saying that to say it in the way that I'm saying it to diminish you. I actually think that you're willing, ready, and able to understand, right? And I appreciate that about your personality. I don't sense a masculine vibe out of you. I sense a feminine vibe out of you. Just not understanding, you know? Just not understanding what I'm saying. Is that fair?
It is fair. I understand. But it's just like, I do understand what you're saying. And I think it could go both ways, though. Like, I feel like JT should take accountability, but people are only going to be accountable for, like, when they realize it for themselves. Like, we can't, I literally cannot expect her to be accountable with the way she was, like, the environmental factors. Like, I really, you know what? I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
But I see. You know what it is?
I really am.
I don't think you believe with what you're saying. I don't think you believe with what you're saying. I think you're playing devil's advocate, but I don't think that it reigns true within your life. Because what you're saying is that at the end of the day, how should we expect her to be accountable? She has a voice. She's representing us. She should be accountable. End of story. And if we had more examples of her being accountable, we'd be much better. Izzy, I gotta let you go because I got 15 other people that's down into the building right now, so I gotta let you go. Continue to like, comment, share on the channel. Would wholeheartedly appreciate your support. All right?
Of course.
Thank you, Mama.
Bye.
All right, peace. All right, let me take a brief pause. Oh, she didn't hang up.
Oh,
Izzy, are you on the? Hold on, I got you, girl. I got you. Here we go. I got you. I got you. She put it down. I didn't know what she was about to do. Okay. You ain't gonna get me pulled off of YouTube. Guys, hit on the like button. We got 2,000 people that's down into the building. I should have 2,000 likes. You might have came in here and you probably forgot, but hit on that goddamn like button. I will wholeheartedly appreciate it. Don't you disrespect me. Hit on the like button, even though you shadow lookers, okay? Even though you shadow lookers. Hit on the like button. Guys, I'm gonna read some of the super chats. We're gonna get back down in there. I gotta continue to have this conversation. I want the ladies to call in. We got a whole bunch of men that are down into the lobby. You guys gotta call in and you got to turn on your cameras because we're not going to do this show without you coming on and showing who you are, okay? Shout out to everybody that's coming down. Oh, I see a couple of the super chats. Shout out to Mark B, $20 super chat. Take them to church. I'm going to read out the $20 because I don't have a lot of time. Shout out to Nick Famous, $20 and up. $20 super chat. I appreciate your content. It provides education and some grown man therapy. Shout out to Nick Famous. I appreciate the $20 sponsorship, my G. Shout out to Endow. This live stream is fire. Folks understand how black men fall within the realm of high value men. I think black men would be fine with just the basic level of respect regardless of income. All right? Shout out to the super chats that's done in there. Courtney Michelle, I see you. I see you. Shout out to Don May, $50 super chat. MTR, good show. Appreciate that, Don. All right. Guys, also, too, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to turn off the public chat. I'm going to turn on the members only chat. So if you want to sign up and be a member on the channel, click on that join button that's somewhere on the page and you can become a member. Shout out to Mr. Reese for the $20 super chat. Can't wait for the Fresh and Fit. Yeah, we're going to be down in there. I think in July/August, around that time. We haven't set it on an official date yet, but I got so much shit cooking over here that I wanted to be able to go down there would have made the most sense to me. But shout out to those brothers. They are blowing the hell up right now. Shout out to Fresh and Fit Podcast. I'll be down there, though, of course. I'll be down there. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat, my G. I appreciate that. Next to the stage, who I think is going to disagree with me. Hey, Abby, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Okay,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Apparently, you want to disagree with me, so I'm interested to hear how and why you want to disagree with me.
Yeah. Well, I think that there are certain things maybe that modern women should apologize to modern men for, but I'm not sure that this statement is one of those. Just because it seems like men are saying women should adopt standards, or like in that Iyanla video, it's like close your legs, right? Like you should have standards before you jump into bed with a man. But then when you adopt standards, maybe guys don't like those standards. And then it's like, it seems like you can't win either way.
Wait a minute, when you say guys don't like those standards, what standards?
Well, so she mentioned that she didn't want to have sex with a man who was broke. She never exactly specified what constitutes brokenness. So, I mean, we can conjecture, but it's like we don't know for sure what she meant by that.
What do you think she meant by that? Because the majority of women will feel their way throughout that paragraph that she wrote. I mean, that she said. They'll feel their way throughout that paragraph. Okay. Now, we know JT makes considerable amounts of money. All right.
Sure.
The average modern woman, what do you think that her salary is?
The average modern woman?
Or the modern woman, her average salary?
I'm not sure. Maybe like 40,000?
Somewhere in that vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
So is your assumption that the $40,000 a year woman who looks at a JT statement is going to assign broke to what type of income of that man?
Probably just somebody who was actually broke. Like not necessarily somebody who makes the same amount of money as they do.
Here's the delusion. So here's the delusion.
Mm-hmm.
There's women that make $40,000 per year that look at a man looking at making $40,000 per year as he's broke. There's women that make $40,000 per year that look at a man making $70,000 per year as if he's broke. There's women that make $40,000 per year that look at a man making $90,000 a year that think that he is broke. They want the six figures and up. And that's my problem.
No, I think that's a valid point, and that's a valid problem. The issue is, like, are those women the majority of women or like the minority of women? And I think that's kind of like where the confusion or uncertainty is. It's like, are most women like that? Do most women think like that? I don't know.
That's a good point. I don't know what percentage of women actually think like that. However, when the rhetoric is pushed down in here, when JT is, making considerable money, and that's what she infuses in the culture, all right? There's no healing there. There's selfishness there. There's just pure and utter selfishness there. She doesn't care about you and I. She don't give a shit. She used to be a scammer. Now she makes a considerable amount of money, and now she shits on those that don't agree with her, okay? And talks about how dudes, this, that, and the third. So here's my thing. Here's the delusion. There's a lot of young ladies that look towards a JT. I don't know the percentage. To your point, I don't know the percentage. That's a fair point, and I appreciate that point. I don't know what that might be. But there are those, and a lot of those that are influenced by her, because she's an influencer by every stretch means in the imagination, and then look at that, and then assign broke to dudes that don't make over that six figures. And I would say that's the majority. We just had a young lady that came up here that posited the $15,000 per year of what actually would be broke for the city that she lives in. I agree with her. $15,000 a year is broke, but that's not the majority of men. But women who are 0 through a 10 will listen to that, will look at that quote and establish broke men when there's plenty of blue collar men, white collar men that make middle income. Shit, when I came out of undergrad, I was making middle income. Okay, I was making middle income. I was making $46,000 a year. I talked about it on one of my videos. Okay, I lived in Wilmington, Delaware. I was making $46,000 per year, working for a big bank. According to JT, I was broke, and there was women that in and around that would look at a statement like that wouldn't give me the time of day, irrespective of my personality, because I'm broke by JT standards. That's my problem.
That's interesting. Okay, so I mean, I looked at the conversation that she had, and she was saying that she's experienced relationships with broke men. So, I mean, depending on where she's coming from, like if she's coming from the hood of, I don't know where she's coming from, but have experience with actually broke men, and that's kind of whom she's referring. And so I think again, there are certain things modern women should apologize for. I don't think that this is one of them. Depending on what she meant by broke, like that's up for negotiation and interpretation. Yeah. Who knows for sure? That's kind of my stance.
Abby, I appreciate you for calling in. I appreciate your thoughts. Listen, I need more Abbies to call in. I need more Abbies to call in. If I have Abby call in, I know I'm doing a good job on the channel. I need more Abbies.
Yeah, I watch you often.
I appreciate you, Abby. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in, Mama. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. All right. I got some others that's down into the building, guys. I'm gonna leave the link that's down up in here. I gotta go run to the restroom real quick so I can gain full composure for the conversation. I'll be right back. Okay. What happens if I hit this button? What happens? Oh, what happens if I hit this button? I'll be right back, guys. MTR got the baby wipes on his toilet. You goddamn right I got the baby wipes on my toilet. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the unscented baby wipes. You understand what I'm saying? Because the ladies don't want the scented baby wipes because it messes up the pH. You didn't know that? Welcome to manhood. Welcome to manhood. It's just the simple things that you got to know. My bad. Probably no one knows what the hell I'm talking about. I just saw a comment over here about how I'm not even gonna bring it up on the stream. What you mean you heard everything? No. This mic doesn't do that. This mic doesn't pick up the bullshit. Stop it. I wash my hands. Okay. There's corona going around. All right. There's absolutely corona going around. Don't you disrespect me. Okay. Mediocre toilet and reviews. Oh, man, I got the best subscribers in the game. You can't tell me nothing. Okay, I'm going to read out some of the super chats real quick. Shout out to Jarquise Williams. Hold up, can I bring this one up on the screen? No, I cannot. It's too fast. By switching my speech to I feel like I win every debate now. Yeah, because you put that I feel on the shit and apparently it just, you know what I'm saying? Said no man ever. Facts. The I feel like does nothing to concretely prove an argument ever. If you listen to JT music, you could pretty much tell what she considers broke. She's deflecting. Stop the cap. That's a big fact. Yeah, you know, we're just gonna act like who she's not talking about with the goddamn broke shit. Come on now. Let's just feign complete and utter accountability. Okay, let's just feign complete other, because we just don't know who she might be talking about. Okay, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. Shout out to Elevated. Oh, this is why we need fathers in the home. These are all $20+ super chats. By the way, I can only read those out because I don't got much time. So women will stop taking empty statements from low-level celebs and memes as standards. Okay, this is why we need fathers in the home. Absolutely, because we got to set a baseline at the end of the day. Okay, Red sings the blues in the building. I see you. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat Patreon gang. I got to read out the Patreon ones. Shout out to Sean O'Neal. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Respect to MTR in the chat. Hook us up with some intermission music. I'm working on it. All right, I'm just getting back into the live streaming shit. It's been a while. I'll work on the intermission music. Actually, I got to get off of StreamYard and probably do the other streaming application that I've been doing on my second channel. Link down in the description box down below if you guys are interested in gaming content. I might actually get up on there later on tonight after I go into my Discord server just to play some video games or stuff like that, just to decommission before I go into the work week. You understand what I'm saying? Because I still got to do the 9-to-5 stuff. Shout out to Demetrius Roper. That was a good argument, but I'd like to know how much she makes and what she considers broke. Yeah, facts. I'll make sure to ask that into the future. All right? Guys, I don't have much time, but we'll get this conversation started, re-upped again. Jay Lethal, what's good, my G?
What's good, brother? Can you hear me?
You fixed the mic. I appreciate that. What's good, brother?
I did, man. I want to start off by telling you, man, I appreciate your content. I've been following you for maybe 2-3 months, and I'm full support, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. But Jay Lethal, do you have a disagreement with me, brother?
It was more so I just wanted to kind of say this, and I hate to be like one of the people on Kevin Samuels who kind of doesn't have the disagreement, but I really just wanted to let it be known for the audience, like, what are we? JT is the same woman, right, who said, and forgive my language, I'm not even going to curse on your channel, but she said she's only effing on a rich ass, scamming ass N-word. So, yes. So this is the same woman who says she's only having sex with a man who scams. Now, when you look into the definition of scam, that means to lie and to steal. So we have to really, like you said, context is important. When we're listening to these celebrities or whoever's saying something, we have to look at the whole character of a person. Yes, she has a big platform, but essentially she's saying, I only have sex with men who lie and steal. So therefore, us general average men, and I'm fine with calling myself average. I don't look at that as a diss to myself or anyone else. I'm average. I'm the average man. Fine. But as the average man, I've decided that I'm not going to put myself in a predicament to possibly risk my freedom or risk my safety so that I can be a rich ass, scamming ass N-word just so that JT and her friends will decide that she wants to have sex with me this week. Because essentially that's essentially what it is. It's not even like if you're a rich ass, scamming ass N-word, she's going to exclusively give you her vagina. She's only going to add you to her list of men she's having sex with, because when you listen to more of JT's music, she's talking about how she has sex with multiple men. Also, before I leave, JT is the same woman who rapped in a different song about proudly having an abortion. And I forgive me for saying that word, but yes, she says, this N-word's acting crazy. I'm going to get rid of his baby. And y'all can look up JT's lyrics for that. Yes, she did proudly rap about getting an abortion and only having sex with men who steal and lie. So I just wanted to say, yes, this is the woman that we're talking about. And that's kind of all I had to say.
Jay Lethal!
Hey, brother, just so you know, YouTube just took my channel down after 5 years on YouTube. I've been on YouTube as a YouTuber for 5 years, been shadow banned and everything. YouTube just took my channel down, but hey, it's all good. I'm back on the second channel, and much love to you. Black content creators, black men, it's time for us to stand up.
Time for us to stand up. Jay Lethal, thank you so much for coming through, and I appreciate those bars, my G. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
All right, guys, listen. I think that's an appropriate way to end today's stream. He was saying things in there that even I didn't know, but I appreciate the information that he shared. I didn't know that she was talking about getting rid of babies and this, that, and the third. I think that it's gross. I think that it's disgusting. I think that it's gross. I think that it's disgusting. And at the end of the day, if that's not no shit that don't need an apology, then I don't know what is. If that's not no shit that don't need no apology, then I don't know what is. Are you willing to apologize? Are you willing to hold women accountable? Are you willing to do that? Because when I bring up that word, I mean, shit. That's like kryptonite. Okay? It's like kryptonite when you bring up that word. Even the young lady that was speaking earlier, when we talked about interpreting her statement, when we talked about it, she spun it around to still be the man's fault. Is that what accountability actually is? Like I said at the beginning of the stream, we both have our faults, both men and women. We got shit that we got to work on. But it seems to be in the woman's playbook to constantly downplay our accomplishments, downplay where we've gotten into the world, downplay what we bring to the proverbial table. That seems to be consistent. And I think it should stop. And I think that it needs to. We need an apology. Only then can we consider true healing within the community. Guys, I'm going to get off right now. Link down in the description box down below. I'm going down into my Patreon right now. I'm going down into my Discord server. Go link up. Let's have a conversation. We talk midweek. We have Wealth Chat Wednesdays. We got conversations on Sundays that have to do with business as well. We talk randomly. People are live streaming games in there. There's like financial resources in there. There's people linking videos and doing study groups. There's even a group that's focused on learning new languages. We're building a dope community of people that want to learn, that want to increase their value. Shit, I could talk about all day about we need an apology, but what are you doing to ensure that you're becoming the dopest version of yourself? What are you doing? I know what I'm doing. I know what the people down in the Patreon group is doing, the Discord server. They know what they doing. What are you doing? Especially now in this COVID environment. I know it's going to be summer out here. It's going to be summer out here soon, and it's going to be vaccination summer out here. It's about to be a lava boy summer for your boy, MTR. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, not hot. Not a hot girl, but a lava boy. Okay? But you know hotter than lava. Okay? I'm about to be out here. Whoo! Whoo! It's going to get gross out here in the streets. You understand me? Anyway, but what are you doing in order to ensure that you're becoming the best version of yourself? What are you doing? Come down into the Patreon. Let's have a conversation. Guys, if you like this particular content, go and click on the like button, and it shows me that you like the way that I come at this conversation, and we can continue to do it like this. Shout out to all the men that's down into the chat. Shout out to all the women that's down into the chat. Hit on that like button. Would wholeheartedly appreciate that. Show love and support and respect to the content creators that push the message that you bang with, all right? Until next time, YouTube. Peace.